What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Anything Better podcast with your host, me, Paul Virzi, Bill Burr over there, and of course, our producer, Andrew Themlis, out there in Beverly Hills. And you guys are listening to episode number 83. We are in the numbers that I've been waiting for the whole damn podcast, because these are the best numbers in football. Who do we got, Bill? 83.
All right, 83. Not as many, wide receivers. Think about that. That's not like a big... There's a lot of 80s, 81s, 88s, 86s. 83, Ted Hendricks, defensive tackle for the Oakland Raiders. Andre Reed.
Yes.
The great Bills. Andre Reed for the Buffalo Bills. Len Ford, Doug Atkins, Wes Welker.
Right.
Vince Papel, Mark Clayton, Vincent Jackson, Anthony Miller, Vern Den Herden. Oh my God, I had that football card. Sherman White, Willie Galt for your Chicago Bears. Ben Davidson. All we need is one pin, Rodney. Remember him? Light beer commercials. Pat Tilley, Lewis Lips for the Steelers. One of the greatest of all time that nobody ever brings up, John Jefferson on the San Diego Chargers, who always said if I didn't sign with the Green Bay Packers, Jerry Rice would be breaking all my records. Steve Jordan, not the drummer. There's a lot here. Heath Miller, Ricky Sanders, George Sowers, Stephon Page, Lee Evans, Clarence Williams, Jerome Barkham. Jesus, Andrew.
Wow.
Flipper Anderson.
Flipper. That was a great one. That was a great name.
J.J. Stokes. Algate Crumpler. Dave Corser. I don't know who half these fucking people are. Terry Glenn.
Terry Glenn.
What is the significance of Terry Glenn?
Terry Glenn had, I want to say that Terry Glenn and Bill Parcells had a thing, and he was with the Patriots, no?
Terry Glenn was the guy that Bill Parcells did not want to draft.
Yes.
Kraft overrode him, and then he's like, hey, you want me to make the dinner? You got to let me buy the groceries, which was funny because he was overweight. And then that made them go south, and everywhere he went, Bill Parcells after that, he always signed Terry Glenn. So I guess he kind of liked him. Rest his soul, by the way. Santana Moss. Dave Parks, Albert Cohen, Dante Stallworth. There you go. Oh, you're going to love 84 next week, Paul.
Oh, you know I'm going to love 84, but that's a great list. That's a great list.
Yeah.
Even some of those guys that you blew over fast, like Lee Evans, because I know it's a huge list. Lee Evans was good. A lot of those guys, man. 83. And I totally forgot Wes Welker was 83. Yeah. I totally forgot that.
But it's sort of a hybrid number. There was a couple of defensive players in there. Ben Wilson, Jesus Christ, that guy was like a man's man, deepest voice ever. I believe he was one of the. I might have been an original Raider in the AFL.
Yeah, dude. My first number in like legit school organized. Like not like the Pee Wee League or what they called it back then was the Midget Football League, and that's literally what it's still called across the country. But
hockey was that midgets.
My first number ever was 27. My second number, I played quarterback. The only number I could get, I didn't want it, but I was number 16, and we went 5-1 in a 6-game season, tied for first. And then I was number 82 when I got to junior high school. I was a slot.
How come you didn't want 16?
I wanted 11 because my birthday was 11/11 and also Phil Simms. So I was like, I wanted that. And then they were like 16. And then I was like, all right, Joe Montana, he's Italian. Makes sense.
My one and only year of football.
Yeah.
Because my dad saw it for what it is. He's like, Christ, you're out there knocking your brains out. And he knew I was slow as shit. He knew it was like, this kid's not going to get a scholarship. He's just going to get even dumber. I was number 25.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It was a really good number.
That's my daughter's number in basketball, 25. So how's it going, dude? I saw that you looked a little tan when you came on this thing, and I was like, Billy got his feet up in the sand or what?
Old Billy's been flying high in the skies.
Oh, I could tell, dude. You look good. You look like you got a tan.
You got a little blood in your body finally. You're not looking like a vampire. I've been flying up to Santa Barbara and San Ynez. San Ynez is like a little sleepy town where they got like wine country. It's a great place to bring your wife and stuff. And then they got Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. Fly over that thing.
No.
A little creepy.
Yeah.
I'm starting with the man on the choo-choo train.
Yeah,
I kind of been doing that. It sucks, dude. There's there's strikes going on out here, and I'm hearing stuff that maybe, hopefully, it'll get resolved soon. But the business is changing or whatever, so this is one of those bumps in the road. But I think everybody's going to be all right. I just hope they do it sooner rather than later, because most people in this business, Paul, they're not as lucky as us to have another form of income with stand-up comedy. That this show business thing is their business. So I'm really hoping it's going to turn around.
Yeah. I think so. Eventually, it's going to have to, because the longer it waits, I feel like the worse it is for. Listen, we can do whatever we want, right? As stand-ups, we can get our own cameras. We could film our own shit. We can do that. We're lucky. It's so great that we could just go tell jokes and make money when these people are like literally marching around New York City, dude. I saw that protest, and I'll be like, hey, look, I'll be honest, man. I said this before, dude. I've never, and this is nothing against protesters, but I've never given a fuck enough about anything to march around in a circle and hold that shit. And walk and go like this, dude. I would do 2 laps and be like, nah, dude, I'll tweet about it. I'm not built like that. You know what I mean? So when I see these guys all hot and sweaty and shit, I was just like, yeah, man, I hope it works out for everybody. Like, I can't do it.
What the fuck was
it? Oh, you're the guy.
Paul, do you realize how many people died so we could have a middle class in this country? So they used to have like union busters, and they just send these guys down, the owners, and the owners owned the politicians, and they had the cops, and these guys would come down with 2x4s, bats, sometimes guns, and they'd kill people's dads because they had like fucking kids working in factories and shit. Like, we're giving all of this away. Paul, the fact that you don't want to walk around and scuff up your Air Jordans and get sweaty because you just took a shower and put some fucking cologne on.
Yeah,
That's got to be one of the weakest things I've ever heard. That is not a hot take, Paul.
Look, you know what? If stand-up comedians strike, if there was a strike for us, I'll be down there with everybody.
Dude, Paul, you already showed your hand. I know what card you're holding.
No, dude, I'm all for the right.
If you want me to tweet about it.
Dude, it's 98 degrees, dude. It's 102 degrees. I mean, what am I going to do? Fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm for them. I support them. I've just never personally went to a protest. Have you? Have you been to a protest?
Barely sounded like you supported them. You're like, I just look out there. I see them all sweaty. I'm just like, hey, I mean, good luck to you, but that's not for me.
Dude, I heard
that does not sound like support to me, Paul.
No,
you
dude.
You sound like the guy who doesn't want to pay him.
No, dude. I want this. They deserve the money that they should be getting. And I'm absolutely all for the writer's strike. I'm just saying.
You sound like Bill Clinton when he was lying right now. You're getting all firm. I believe that they deserve the money. I did not have sex. That was. Dude, that's one of the funniest clips ever. Now to know he's just straight up lying when he has that look on his face.
Well, no, it was like Rafael Palmeiro. Rafael Palmeiro showed his hand in Congress with the steroids. He went, I did not do steroids ever. And he fucking poked his finger, and everybody's like, oh, dude, he did it. He did it.
Can you imagine when he went out and got like a fucking, little fucking bacon, egg, and cheese after that? And it's just in his head like, Jesus, the fuck did I just do in there? And his wife sitting there going like, Raphael, what the fuck? I mean, I used to fucking
inject you.
I know what part of your butt cheek you like it in. And he's like, I don't know, man. I just got in there. I saw the crowd. I wanted to put on a show. I get excited. I actually went down, Paul. I did walk the picket line.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
All Things Comedy was sending a food truck over there today.
There you go. That's fucking class.
Attica. I support him.
Yeah,
how much fucking money do you need to make? Can you just let these fucking people, dude? on F is for Family, I was in the writer's room the first 3 seasons. Then I had my kids and I couldn't be in there every day, dude. That is one of the hardest jobs I've ever fucking had. Just mentally, just sitting there. All you do is just look forward to lunch. Like, what are we having for lunch today, dude? And then you work your ass off and you send the script in, and then they're like, yeah, nah, it's not working. And you got to pull the fucking thing apart again. How hard those goddamn writers work. And then, like, as far as like actors, what blows my mind about acting is even if you win a fucking Oscar, within 5 years of that, you'd be like, hey, I like to play that role. They're like, well, I don't know. He's never played that before. She's never done. I don't like they. It's not like you and I where I was just talking to somebody about this, where we go to a comedy club. First time we're there, and you're a cool guy and you fucking kill. You don't have to prove to the comedy club owner the next year that you're funny again.
Yeah.
I don't know. He added 6 shows. He only did 5 the last time. You know, he kind of just plays 5. Can he do 6? It's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so they have a really tough job. But any young comedians out there watching this, don't ever put your stand-up aside just for these moments. Like, I always kind of knew from my brother, who was really good at business, it's like, you never put all your eggs in one basket, because then they got you by the balls there, Paul. So I'm lucky enough that I can keep working during this. But Paul, unlike you, who looks down on these strikers.
No, I don't. But no, I
go by, I feel guilty that I can go out and make some money this weekend, and they're fucking sitting there. You know, they got like kids and shit. Look at that hummingbird.
Nah, dude, I look at it.
You know what? I'm making a great point here about America. That was like a Disney movie. And as I'm talking, a little hummingbird came by the window.
Yeah,
like that was that kid with Winnie the Pooh.
Was he holding a little Astra sign in his beak?
No, he was a Virzi one. He had a fucking chain on, just going like, yeah, I'm already fluttering really fast. That ain't for me. That ain't for me.
No, I remember one time you told me something a long time ago. You were like, the 2 things, you know, I don't know if we were working together, but you said the 2 things that they can't take from a stand-up is their stand-up and their podcast. And those are 2 things that if you do and you work on, and that was really, really a poignant, smart thing to say. But also what I was talking about with Robbie Slowick, who's a writer, and he writes for Jon Stewart, and he was on the Virzi Effect, and he's part of this, and this is really affecting him and his family big. And he's a great, great fucking writer. It's like when you go to all those barbecues and people are like, dude, are you watching that show? Are you watching that show? It's all the writers. I remember one time I talked to Brad Garrett in Vegas. For the people that don't know, Brad Garrett, I mean, I'm sure you know, but if not, he played Robert, Ray Romano's brother, and Everyone Loves Raymond. And I was talking to him, and I was just like, how you do it? Yeah, and he goes, I said, that show was unbelievable. I said, it still holds up with all those family issues. And he just goes, Paul, it was the writers, man. It was the writers. And he's being humble because he's an incredible actor, and they were able to take what was on the page and make it incredible.
Dude, Brad Garrett's performance in those fucking Jimmy John commercials are better than half the fucking characters I've seen in movies. Dude, both of them. You get an unbelievable actor, because they can also take what you wrote and take it in a completely different direction. All right, let's not just sit here and harp on this. They're working hard. Just fucking pay them. It's in America, Paul. What are we doing?
It's fucking greed. It's disgusting, greedy assholes. Pay them. Give people what they deserve, so then you could get good shows again, man. I was getting excited coming home at night and throwing on a series that I fell into. And now I got to, by the way, though, speaking of series, oh, Bill, I got to be honest, and I got to make a public apology here. This is going to be a big one for the Anything Better crowd, and especially the crowd that follows us during our BetMGM football picks. Your boy sat up 3 nights in a row, and I watched the Netflix documentary, executive produced by Peyton Manning, called Quarterback. And they followed around last year. They followed around Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota, who got the new job in Atlanta after Matt Ryan. And each episode, they are like, these guys gave access, dude. These 3 quarterbacks, I guess, Peyton Manning's got a lot of clout. He probably will, he's like, dude, we got you. But, dude, I mean, access in Mahomes' house, Kirk Cousins' house, Mariota having a baby, and these quarterbacks were fucking awesome. But dude, if you ever thought any mic'd up shit you saw in the NFL, this was that to the. I mean, dude, Mahomes, and I got to tell you, I'm making an apology. I am now a fan of Patrick Mahomes and his wife who talk shit, who goes, let's fucking go. Dude, it was so cool to watch. She threw him a 27-year-old birthday party. I think he was 27 or 29, one of those things. She throws him a birthday party at his house, and the cameras are there, and he just goes like this. She's like, oh, we got to take pictures. And dude, he just turned into a legit dude. Like it was he goes over to her, and this is on. He goes, listen. He goes, no more pictures. I'm not doing this anymore. He goes, I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to go with pictures. He goes, tell your friends. He just, dude, Bill, it was literally like us. It was literally like us with our wives. He goes, dude, I'm going to do it one more time. No more pictures. And then he goes, eventually, dude, I got to get a different haircut. He goes, I'm a father now. He goes, what am I doing? Dude, I was just like, all right. Patrick, now listen, his wife is a little nuts. She slaps on the glass, but then some of the things she says about football, because she's been around it since high school, I'm like, you know what? She's just a fucking all-in ride or die wife. She might be a little annoying. I'm like, I love it, dude. And then he built his dream home in Kansas City because he goes, I'm staying here, 12-year contract. This is my home. And he's building this multi-million-dollar compound basketball. And he put a golf hole in his backyard. And he designed the golf hole. So, like, in his backyard, you just see this one dog leg left. And you're just like, oh, dude, I love this guy. So there you go, man. And it took him all the way to the Super Bowl. And the kid played hurt, man. He was, dude, when you see he was screaming with the ankle. And he's just going, give me, just fucking hurry up, dude. Because, like, he had that mentality of, like, even the backup could take my job, even though it's not going to happen because he's Patrick Mahomes and he's won. In his mind, you can see he's like, hurry up. I got to get back in, dude. I got to get back. And then he just goes, fuck it. He goes, take it too long. And he just got up and ran. And Andy Reid goes, they see Andy Reid walk up to him. And then he goes, hey, dude, we're going to take you out. We're going to take you out and send you back for extras. He goes, fuck no, Andy, no, fuck that. No. And he's just going, it was awesome. It was, dude, you got to watch it, dude. It was great.
I don't know if I need to, dude. That was fucking beyond entertaining right there. Just you doing the recap was awesome.
It was good. And then, Kirk Cousins is more the family, quiet, with his wife, and they are in Minnesota. And then Marcus Mariota, you see him fucking lose his job during it. So I guess he didn't plan that to happen during the taping. But yeah. So it was pretty cool, man. It was definitely, dude, Peyton Manning. And now they're looking, but here's a cool inside thing I found out. They're looking for the next season and the next 3 quarterbacks. And some people are telling Peyton no. They're like, nah, dude, I want to concentrate on the game and shit. So, but they're going to come out again because there's going to be 3 quarterbacks that want to do it. So,
well, yeah, I know it's also somebody they're going to ask somebody. They probably also trying to ask somebody on the bubble so you can get all 3 experiences.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Oh,
hey, I know some comedians that won't say no. Okay, I'll leave the names.
I was watching the Schwarzenegger documentary.
My wife loved it. My wife watched the whole thing. She fucking loved it. I was in and out.
I've been hitting the gym every day with his voice in my head. You get this picture in your mind of what you want your body to look like, and you just will it. You will it to happen. And I'm just going like, I can't get on a fucking elliptical. It's like a halftime speech that just plays in your head.
Dude, Giannis Pappas was talking about your bit after he watched that. He goes, dude, this Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary, he goes, Bill's bit is so fucking brilliantly perfect. He's like, dude,
I missed something. I missed something in it.
What?
Because the bit I had was saying, like, these people making fun of him and stuff like that. It's like, do you think that you could move to Austria, learn the language, win their bodybuilding title like 7 years in a row, transition into acting, become the biggest movie star of a century, then marry into their royal family and become governor of whatever fucking section? How many lifetimes would you need just to do that? And I missed something. In between bodybuilding and becoming a movie star, he had made some money with pumping iron or whatever. And he was like, what should I do with my money? And somebody told him to get into real estate. And he did. And they show him walking out of this apartment building. He goes, I was a millionaire before I even tried to do acting. So then I didn't have to deal with these little bullshit parts. My agent, maybe you'll be a character actor. He goes, character actor, fucking bullshit. I want to be the star.
That's
I want to be the
amazing.
lead. Talking like that. And everyone's going like, with your accent, there's no way it's going to happen. He's just like, fuck you, bullshit. And he did it.
Dude. And yeah, like the language barrier too. The guy just spoke like that and came here and took over. It's fucking dude. Could you imagine if I showed up in Japan and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be the Al Pacino of Japan. I'm fucking coming, dude. Dude, I would dude, if I showed up in Japan and I'm like, I'm gonna be the biggest movie star in Japan. You know, hey, minus the bodybuilding.
I don't even know if I could make it in real estate over there. No, it really is. It's like, dude, and just the stuff about his childhood and his brother, the whole story with his brother is just friggin' heartbreaking, man. It's really, I don't know. I get a lot out of it. And then I also look at the guy like he should have taken a few days off. You know what I mean? Because it is that thing of like one of his heroes was the first guy that climbed Mount Everest. And they asked him, what was your thought when you were on top of Mount Everest? He goes, I saw another peak, another mountain peak, and I immediately started plotting my line up that. And it's just like, I'm not doing that. That's like these celebrities who are just like, every morning I get up at like 2 a.m. I do 40 sets of curls before I have a bowl of cornflakes. And it's just like, what the fuck? It's like, that's what you have to do to be at that level, man. You can fucking have it. You know what I do at 2 a.m? I sleep for another 4 hours. Fuck out of here. Did I lose you? I can't hear anybody. Oh, Jesus.
Paul, I can't hear you either.
Paulie.
How about now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
I said I took an edible at 2:00 in the morning last night. It would have been better. The timing would have been better if the thing didn't mute. But I did. Last night I took a little bit of I've been having a hard time sleeping. And so I was like,
maybe if you walk the picket line with your fellow brothers in arms there, Paul, maybe you'd be a little tired.
Dude,
Paul, let me ask you a question.
I was
what
golfing.
Pair of sneakers? Paul Virzi is going on a 98-degree day.
Oh, no,
this goes against all of your sensibilities. And you go down to the picket line. All right? I want to know the Paul Virzi outfit.
Yeah, I would wear the Air Max 97 whites with the fabric, not all leather. I got them, actually. Those have been the summer. Those are the summer, like, beat-up ones. You know, dude, I'll go down there with some
love how
sandwiches.
you immediately knew. You immediately, you've never walked a picket line and you immediately knew the shoe. You didn't even go like, oh, wow, let's never walk the picket line. I wear the Air Max 987.
Dude, I'm not going to mention names, but I will tell you, I heard some shit that was just like, wow, at the stand. I guess I could say this. We could cut it out if I can't, but I'm at a comedy club and there were some comedians in there, and I heard some comedians. I heard some people, let me just say, maybe not comedians. I heard some people in there going, oh, I can't wait for that fucking industry to just break these writers. All those fucking writers, they don't give a fuck about us. They're the ones that want to cancel us. They're the ones talking about how fucking stand-ups are the bottom of the barrel. They were like, fuck them. And I was just like, whoa, okay. They were like,
when did writers ever say that? They all want to pair up with us and create a show.
I know. I know. I don't know what I was just like when I heard
that sounds like a couple of people that had a deal and it didn't work.
Yeah, well,
it's the first time you go in, I'm getting a deal. Oh my God, I'm getting a show. And then it doesn't go. It's like, it's your first little
or it could be somebody
heartbreak in the business.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it could be somebody that had an issue with a writer and the writer was like, fuck you. And then all of a sudden they're like, I can't wait for them to get broken. It's like, man, I don't know. None of this happens without everybody.
You know what that means? That means you don't like The Godfather. You don't like all the great movies you like. You don't like. They were fucking written. They weren't improvised.
Speaking of The Godfather,
Can I tell you something, Paul?
I
fucking hate people that blame victims. I should talk with my ex, but like, it fucking drives me up the fucking wall.
Yeah, I do too.
Maybe these actors are making too much fucking money. You know what it is? It's just that they know the names. You know the names of the actors. You don't know the names of the guys that are running the fucking studios and all of that. Somebody tried to tell me the other day, going like, the guy that runs like Disney. It's like, it's like running a small country. I'm like, all right, take it easy. It's not like running a small country. At no point can there be a fucking military coup and somebody's going to come in there and fucking whack you and your whole family and they find your skulls in Siberia 100 years later.
Yeah.
You're running a studio. Do we put the cartoon before the fucking whatever, Listen, I respect everybody's job in this business or whatever, but like, I don't want to just keep harping on this shit, but like, for a comedian to be shitting on writers, it's just like, dude, if you think that's not eventually going to come around to you, if you think this AI shit isn't going to come around to you, if you think all of this technological shit isn't going to come around to you, if you think that these guys getting taken out isn't going to fuck you over, just because you know how to write shit jokes, that doesn't mean you know how to write a script or a great script. Those are all skill sets. It's, know what it is, Paul? It's just more of the complete lack of respect, specifically that writers get. Even on like the Oscars, like half of the shit that they win, they don't even televise them. And you got all these people, it's like if it wasn't for them, they'd have nothing to say.
Yeah, dude. And I'll take it further, dude. I saw it firsthand because before the strike, I was in the middle of a project writing it. And I was writing it with another comedian, and I was writing it with a really professional writer who does it for a living and who did it for hit shows. And we were like, hey, what do you think about this? They were like, hey, why don't you write this thing? Kind of like when I'm sure you personally wrote a lot of scenes in F is for Family, but then you take it to writers and they fucking say, how about this? Dude, I wrote this thing and we wrote it and we were like, hey, we're going to go into the gym and we're going to do this and they're going to be a mom. And then he just goes, yeah. And then we're going to do this, this, and this. But what if you did this? And I was just like, wow, like that just made a fucking scene versus something that is just like
a standalone joke.
A standalone joke versus like the whole setup and then setting it up to where you could revisit it later in the episode and you're going, oh, dude, that was insane. Thank you, dude. You just made a show. Like it's probably the difference of a show that gets canceled versus a show that actually has legs. Like, because Larry David saved Seinfeld, right? Seinfeld was on its way out after the first season or was doing really bad. And then fucking Larry David comes in and the show becomes the big one of the biggest shows.
Larry David was there from the beginning.
Was he?
I think it was Brandon, what's his face? Tartikoff or something like that. The guy that was running NBC. He loved the show.
Yeah, so he just said keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah, he stuck by it.
They didn't have to change a formula or anything. It was just to keep going.
Oh, okay. So he just stuck with what he believed in. Okay. Larry David was a good writer. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, they got mad. They know the story is that when NBC asked for like more episodes and like a second season, they were like they were almost bummed out. They're like, I don't know if we have 5, 10 more episodes, 22. They didn't think they had it in them, and then obviously,
dude. But are you sure like they didn't make an adjustment on the writing? Okay.
No. I mean, we might have got a little bit retooled or anything, but that's a big difference than like Larry coming in. Like he was there from the beginning. But what was funny was, somebody, it was either Larry David or Gary Shandling, rest his soul, that was talking about, or maybe Steve Martin, one of them was talking about how you work on something and you're trying to sell it, and then you sell it. And then there's the euphoria of selling it. And then you're like, oh, fuck, now we have to go do this. Yeah. Because it's so much goddamn work. Speaking of work, Paul, because we're supposed to talk about sports here. Last I checked, the Red Sox were a game up on the Yankees. The Yankees are in the cellar, Paul, like 4 games above 500. Yeah. That's how strong the AL East is. And as much as the Red Sox are in second to last place, we might be tied with you guys. We're both still in the hunt for the wild card in last place.
Yeah, because the division is everything is within 4 games. And look, I'm not trying to.
We're like 8 games out. Like, well, Tampa Bay's kind of taking a nosedive.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the wild card. The wild card is only like within a few games. Yeah. The wild card is only within a few games. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses because the Yankees pitching has not been what the Yankees pitching should do at all. But I'm happy that Aaron Judge is finally coming back after missing like 40-something games. Tonight, he's coming back in Baltimore. And, dude, you see why he was MVP last year, because without him, I don't know. We probably don't make the playoffs without him. We don't make the wild card.
Here's the thing, Paul. This is my theory on him. Why he gets injured a lot is there's never been a guy his size that I can ever remember playing baseball, and I just don't think that they have the right cleats or something for him, footwear, because these guys in the NBA are all, for the most part, his height and taller, and they're running up and down playing full court basketball. They're not dropping like flies. And I just don't think with like his size and all of that muscle, I just don't think the equipment is up. And I'm basing that off of Grant Hill, when Grant Hill wore Fila's and they made the shoes wrong and it fucked his feet up, like the wrong shoes and stuff like that. Like, I just figured that they just were like, all right, well, this is the cleat we make for a guy 5'10". Just make it bigger for a guy 6'10" or whatever the fuck he is, 6'7", 6'8". So
what was he doing, dude? Grant Hill, fucking incredibly gifted black athlete, went to an Italian company for sneakers. I mean, what are you go to Nike, you go to like Fila was, and they didn't make them the shape of that Fila sneaker. It almost, even though it was a lot
of people liked them. They were fine.
But
Nobody knew. Nobody
almost had a designer look to them, because Italians can't hold back on that. Dude, look at his sneaker. It almost had you could go out with them look. It had like a sleek. It didn't have a fucking sneaker look. Andrew, can you pull that up? The Fila Grant Hill, the original Fila Grant Hill. It looks so different than any. I know he had a couple of different variations of it, but I think the original was just like, oh, Grant, what are you doing?
He had one of the most amazing careers of anybody I ever seen, because
unbelievable.
After those injuries, he totally had to change the way he played, and he did, and he still played at a high level, where before he messed up his feet with those fucking sneakers, his game was above the rim. When he was at Duke and everything, he used to dunk and all of that stuff, and he completely changed his game and was still just as effective. It's like when Pedro, lost some of the velocity and he added pitches, like great ones like that. It was an amazing.
It is. It is. Actually, that's a great point. Grant Hill's career, with all of the injuries and all the teams he went to, he got like effective and more minutes as he got older after injuries too. That guy was a monster, man. He was a monster. And he won a national championship with Bobby Hurley, right?
Yes. Grant Hill, he played with Leitner too.
Yeah.
He's the guy going like this, and the thing fucking does that turnaround jumper.
Dude, that Wildcats game. I'm excited though for baseball now, Bill, because NFL, we still have like 2 months. We still have some time, whatever. But now with the Yankees and Red Sox having to scratch and claw even to stay relevant, makes August fun. Because usually you're like, we're, the Yankees and you guys we're always at the top. We've been at the top. Both teams have been one or two.
We haven't since 2018 when we won it all. It's just been Chris Sale. We got him, and he's just been hurt the whole time. And
yeah,
the story of me watching the Red Sox the last 4 years, I feel like every time we score 8 runs, they score 9. And then when we get some pitching, we score like 2 runs. So,
dude, Nick DiPaolo said something years ago at the stand. He goes, dude, I love baseball and I love how long it is. And I love sitting up every night watching it. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know, man. It could be. But dude, I got to tell you, now that my life slowed down a little bit as far as like, everything in my life when I'm home, I'm with my kids. I want to be with my kids. My kids go to bed. Oh, Bill, I get in the new chair. We bought for downstairs. I grab myself an iced tea because I love an iced tea. And I just and I just watched the Yanks, dude. And I'm like, this is fucking great, man. I love it.
Dude, I watched the Red Sox versus the Braves. We won 8-1. We hit into, I told you about this. We hit into a triple play on a blue pop fly to center field.
Oh, you told me about that. That's unbelievable.
The guy on first, whoever the fuck it was, went 80 to 85% of the way to second base. And it's funny, the last like 15%, he's like, it's going to drop, right? It's going to drop. And he just kept going. The guy catches it. The ball gets to first base so goddamn quick. The guy, do you have to tag on that? Or you can just step on the base?
If it's in the infield?
No, it was in the outfield.
Oh, then you have to tag.
Yeah, so he had to wait for that guy to come back. So the guy on second thinks he can make it to third. The guy running back to first at least could have slowed down a little bit. He was still hauling ass back to first. The guy on second took off, tags the guy at first for 2, over to third for 3, a triple play. Your classic, Paul, 8-3-5 if you're scoring at home. 8-3-5 triple play. Somebody, I said, I've never seen that before, and some Twins fan sent me this great one, but it was all the way out to the warning track. And they might have took off and it got held up or something, and this guy ended up catching it. And it was one of those deals, he just threw it to the infield, and the infielder made like outs 2 and 3, you know?
Dude, how about this? How about the Yankees pitcher, Domingo Germán? Pitches a perfect game 3 weeks ago. I was in Houston. I got off stage. I watched it. Now they might take him out of the rotation. He's fucking pitching batting practice right now. The guy had one of the most.
The guy in the Yankees threw a perfect game?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, Domingo Germán. It was nuts. I get off stage. I'm smoking a cigar in Houston, and all of a sudden, across the board, across the ticker, it just goes, Domingo Germán for the Yankees is perfect through 7. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I'm smoking a cigar and talking to the guys that I worked with. This Domingo Germán, perfect through 8. And then every TV got it live. They put it live in the 9th inning. And I'm in Houston after having a great time on stage smoking. Oh, dude, it was incredible. He gets the fucking perfect game. I'm going like this. I got red wine in my hand. I got a fucking cigar in the other. It was unbelievable. And now they may take him out of the dude. They're talking about taking him out of rotation.
Was that the last one since David Wells?
Oh, yeah, it was the 24th one ever, and the whatever, yeah, 8th one.
That's the last Yankee to do it was David Wells. David Cohn did it, then David Wells did it, like the same fucking year, 98, right?
David Cohn, no, back-to-back years, I believe, not the same year. Cohn and Wells. Wells was the last one. This is the 4th Yankee to do it. It's Don Larson. It's Don Larson who did it in the World Series, dude, throwing to Yogi. Then it was David Cohn, I believe, in like 98, and then it was 99, and then what is it, 2000 for Wells?
Wells was 98, Cohn was 99.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Wells was first. All right, I got one for you.
And
David Wells, I've told this, I think, before. David Wells threw that perfect game. It was an afternoon game. Remember when he was slamming the glove down, looking like that, like it was going to happen, and they got the last out? That night, I was living on the Upper East Side. I walked down to the comic strip to do a spot, and when I walked by, I looked in this bar, and I could just feel this energy. And David Wells was standing in the middle of all these people drinking beers with a big smile on his face.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was like, dude, and it was like maybe 15% of the fucking people had cell phones back then. Like, I think that was right when I got a cell phone. Everybody just had like a flip phone. I didn't even think there was a camera. So they were just all talking to him. And he was standing in the middle, like, you know, like he worked for the fucking city. It was really cool.
That's amazing. We'll end the podcast on this because I know we're out of time. But how about this? I got a buddy, one of my closest friends in high school. Shout out to Kevin Martin. He takes a date to the game. He takes a fucking date to the David Wells perfect game. He's like, hey, you want to go to a baseball game? Everything's great. And the whole time she's going, what? Nothing's happening. Why are people cheering? This is nothing. And he's just going, Paul, he's going, dude, all I wanted was to have a friend next to me for this moment. And this chick is going, I don't get it. Like, there's no hits. Oh, dude, he was devastated.
He must have been smoking hot.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
A regular chick would have known enough just to fucking be acting. Oh yeah, I'm happy for you,
dude. The mental hand job he was going to get in the car on the way home is the only thing that kept him going through that fucking thing.
I mean, that's. I'm trying to think if I've ever been to something like that. The only time I saw a crowd collectively act like that when I went to that Expos game and that guy stole home plate. And I'm fucking standing up, oh my God, he stole home plate, and nobody else cheered. There was barely anybody in there, and I was way out in left field. They like mind fucked me. I was like, did I just fucking, And then later on that night, I'm in Montreal watching TSN, their ESPN. Like, here's something you don't see all the time: stolen home plate. I was like, I fucking knew it, dude. They were just out there. They were hammered in the outfield, just singing "Ole, ole, ole, ole," like they were at a soccer game.
Dude, how about the games I've been to with you? You're the only person out of every game, other than when I went to game 1 of the World Series in 2000 with my brother Christian. We saw an unbelievable extra innings game. Dude, we went to, think about what me and you stood. We saw that one Alabama win at the end, which fucking was wild. We saw
against Kentucky, Johnny football.
We saw Kentucky. No, I'm talking LSU. Remember, dude?
Fuck that Alabama. That was brutal.
Yeah.
They fucking alligator around it.
How about this? We were at the Kentucky Derby, and we saw, not only did we see American Pharoah win the Kentucky Derby, that horse wins the Triple Crown for the first time since 1973. We were at that.
77 or 78 was the last Triple Crown winner. I remember I had the Sports Illustrated. I'm old. Go ahead.
No, 73, I think.
No, that was Secretariat.
No. Oh, 78. 78 it was. It was my birthday. Yeah. Birth year. And then I think we went to the Masters where Tiger happened to come back after all that shit. We got to see him. He didn't win, but we saw Phil Mickelson winning on a Sunday, which was nuts. Dude, we've seen some really cool shit. I'm trying to think. I remember one other one. I go, dude,
we saw Jason Tatum at Duke, Carolina.
We saw
Camden
Duke
indoor.
And we saw Duke come back and win that game, which was nuts. And we saw the Japanese dragon. What was her name? Dude, the Red Panda or whatever, dude.
Oh, yeah. She was unreal.
I never seen she threw up 20 plates on her toe.
Paul,
and put on her head.
To end this podcast, you're pitching for the Yankees.
Yeah.
You throw a perfect game.
Yep.
Where are you going and what sneaker are you wearing that night?
This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm being dead serious. This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm being dead serious. You got me excited with the question. Okay, whoever my assistant is, when I get off, I go like this. Tell Stacy, this is exactly what I would do. Tell Stacy, get a place in Manhattan, top-notch VIP. All of my friends were for 100 people tonight, not tomorrow. Tell her I'm showering. And I need a whole back of a fucking restaurant in Manhattan open. I need Cuban cigars. Okay, I want Jordan 3s with washed jeans, washed light jeans, and a white t-shirt, a bright white thing, and there's got to be bottles of champagne and strawberries, and there's got to be bottles of champagne and strawberries, and probably sushi. I want sushi catered by what's the one that we went to on my birthday? The sushi joint, Nobu. And we go and we just shut it down.
Nobu, all around.
You want the restaurant that you rent out, you want them to bring Nobu into that restaurant?
Oh, dude, if I pitch a perfect game, it would go on it would be nuts.
Well, how quickly you answered that, you would think that you actually pitched for the Yankees and have come close a couple of times. You know what's funny? I pictured myself, you know what I would go? I would go down to the tip of Manhattan where the Staten Island ferry is, and I would sit on a park bench by myself, smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I would do that for 2 seconds, and then I would just And I would
just leave my phone there going, and I just sit there laughing, going, what the fuck? How did that just happen?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's I would be sad that
I like yours better. Yours is way more cinematic.
Dude, if I'm the 20, oh, dude, if I was the 25th person to ever throw a perfect game in majors, dude, oh my God, dude. That would be amazing. Dude, after my Netflix special, I told Stacy, I said 2 bottles
He's really
of Dom.
the 26th. I mean, that one kid got fucked out of the perfect game. Guy was out by fucking 3 feet.
Was it a perfect game or a no-hitter, though?
Perfect game. I thought it was a perfect game.
Oh, okay. It's brutal. It's brutal.
At the very least, it was a no-hitter.
Well,
here's a no-hitter going, and I kicked the shit out of that call. I kicked the shit out of it.
All right. To really end the podcast, what do you do if you're pitching in the World Series Game 7 at home and you give up a home run to lose it? Where are you going? That's when I'd go on the park bench.
And I lose it.
Dude, that happened.
I sit in the locker room in my uniform until everybody leaves.
What did Mitch Williams do when he threw it to Joe Carter? Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit him. But what did Mitch Williams do that night? Be a great question to ask him.
I just picture him. He went to like Saddle Ranch and rode the mechanical bull.
All right.
It'd be funny if you still went out and celebrated. What the fuck are you so happy for, Mitch? Come on, man. I mean, someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose. I played in the World Series.
Just a positive.
Yeah, come on, don't ruin this night. Don't ruin this night. All right. How many World Series have you pitched in?
All right, guys. Well, that is the show. Anything better? Please keep reviewing. We'll come out with a clip, and please spread the word. We love doing the show, and the BetMGM is coming, guys. NFL Week 1. Our picks are coming. Bill and I will be picking 4 games a week, so get ready for that. Yeah, for all of our dates, check out our websites. Right? Anything else, Andrew? Anything else I gotta?
All good.
That's it. We'll see you guys next week.